let's look at BABA. Remember, they trade in Hong Kong now as well as the A shares. So they got A shares and H shares. Oh, okay, one of these is going to be H shares. Let's do 99, 88 in Hong Kong, 92 Hong Kong dollars. It's HKD though. So let's change the currency to show. Let's just use the Chinese money, right? They have Bitcoin in here, that's hilarious. Oh, it's HK dollars. Oh yeah, duh. I've seen that a million times. So the HK, okay, here's the June quarter. CEO Eddie Wu. Hold on, so there's Eddie Wu, Daniel Zhang, and Jack Ma. You guys know Taobao? You shop on Taobao or Tmall? Every company needs AI. I'm gonna do this in local currency. 𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗢𝗏 looked interesting for a penny stock. Most penny stocks are garbage. I've known about those guys for a little while. I kind of wanted that drug myself. If the CEO is hated, replacing a CEO usually goes up. Not growing very quickly. It's a very, it's a very big, kind of mature company. They changed some of their reporting. Commerce International Digital Group. Okay, maybe I'll just add these up. I don't think I'd change anything too heavy for my financial lessons. I mean, I'd like to look at them over again just to see what I said. Maybe sometimes you wish you could go back and tweak, adjust something, make sure people don't get the wrong impression, you know? 19 here. Okay, so it's a 200 million US market cap. Earnings on the renminbi side are like 100 billion. Wow. I should just do everything here in double. I like how simple their balance sheet is. It's literally 4 lines. Like good old Chinese transparency. I trust the CCP.
Actually, the CCP are very good people.
Is that right, Mr. Biden?
Listen, chat. Get your pronouns ready. They will be mandatory. I talked to Shkreli, and he is a he, him.
You guys ready? Mandatory pronouns? I'm ready. I don't care. Yeah, I'll do it. You better pick the right pronouns. You pick fake pronouns, like joke pronouns. Oh, you do a couple years like I did. It's cool. It's cool. You think you're tough? Do a little bit. Do a little bit. Kamala put you in jail. Let me know how tough you are then. When you're Kulo inspected every day. So they don't have too much debt, as far as I could tell so far. The market will take about 3 seconds to react to 𝗂𝐽𝑎 results, if not faster. The reaction will be instantaneous. It'll be swift, it'll be merciless, and it will be ugly. Yeah, they have one drug. By year end. So we got 3 months, boys and girls. This is gonna be the biggest moment in Shkreli history. Maybe not the biggest. That's gonna be big. Remember, if you guys don't know, I promised that if this drug works, right? I'm transitioning to Martina. That's how much I believe. Oh, there's my food. If the 𝗂𝐽𝑎 phase 3 trial works by December, I will shave my head bald, delete my Twitter, transition to Martina with, everything. Surgery, full transition, hormones, all that. What else can I do? I'll go homeless, all right? I'll forever be a vagrant. I'll move to Haiti. What else you guys want? Get out of here, it's my food. Yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice nibbles. You take whatever you want, it's not happening. What else you want? Of course I'm day down. That's off the rip. Godel becomes free? I don't know if I can promise that. That's my colleagues might be upset about that. Yeah, I'll freelance from the DOJ. Wow. There's no way this drug works, right? Like, I'm the pharma bro. Now, they can't really falsify the results. It's a really good question, actually. They have an FDA, they have the DOJ. They already arrested one of them. 2 of them are under investigation, may get arrested as well. So it would be unprecedented if, under the eyes of the federal government, they still, go ahead and try to break more laws. I think that'd be really unlikely. The other guys involved in the company now are pretty legit. Like, they're not trying to go to jail. I put all of these in the wrong column, it looks like. Case of the Mondays. It's Tuesday, but I have a case of the Mondays still. I was up programming so late, man. Pretty lady. Yes, you're a pretty lady. I know you are. Say something to these people, kitty. Say something. Say something. Tell them something, kitty. Okay, making me look stupid now. Okay. Innovation is important. If you don't innovate, or others don't innovate, and you don't rapidly adopt the innovations, you get left behind. That's why we just try to stay on the forefront of what's going on out there. But Alibaba's really managed very interesting. Like, they manage for the long term. They don't manage for near-term shareholder results. Kind of neat, from what I can tell. I mean, I'm sure they try for near-term results, but they really just don't seem to care about near-term earnings and stuff like that. Most companies like this really force their way into making sure they have the right growth or the right expense management, for example. And they could control their expense management if they wanted. Half the market cap's cash. It's like 5 times earnings. The question is, do you want to deal with the CCP? I think AI is is very important. I mean, it already is. But it's like any other software. It's just software. Software has changed our lives in general, right? Software is so important. You carry an operating system with you everywhere you go. And you get nervous when you stop looking at it. Yeah, when I used to live trade, I used to keep my interactive brokers window open. Alibaba's competitors, I'm not sure it's going to be that important, to be honest. No, I just think the first thing we look at is their financials. Competition is only relevant once we understand the company in the first place. Oh, they were going to IPO 𝗘𝗢𝗡𝗦. What is 𝗘𝗢𝗡𝗦? 𝗘𝗢𝗡𝗦. Global Express is okay, so it's like a shipping company. Oh, 𝗥𝗢𝗡𝗦. Courier service. Cloud has been flat for Alibaba for years. For most people, recession is something that, is really related to their employment or something like that. Doesn't have any practical impact. Stock market's doing well, so the stock market, if it sees a recession, it's seeing a soft landing. It's an interesting way to look at this thing. A lot of building a model is about, okay, how do I interpret this? I mean, Alibaba almost has to go up at this rate. Barring the only way you can get hosed is if there's a big Chinese recession, which many people think there might be. Yeah, it's hard to trust the Chinese numbers. China's 10 years at 2%. The central bank there is doing a lot of stuff to try to shore up what's going on. So we could just do China GDP and China 10-year here. So 10-year right now, in this fiscal year, say it's 2.1%. And then let's see, in 2020, fiscal 2024, it was like 9.23 roughly. It's like 3%. And then fiscal 23, call it, oh wait, it wasn't, okay, let me get these numbers. I had the wrong thing here for a second. Oh, maybe right, let's see. And then let's see, September 2022, 2.8. And then September 21, September 2020. Okay, so yields have been falling. Doesn't mean a lot, but and then we'll look at GDP. So GDP is a little hard to measure in China because they lie. It's basically been flat. So most of their business is e-commerce, right? So one of the questions becomes, well, what does Amazon's e-commerce business look like? And some of it's B2B e-commerce, right? Cloud business isn't doing well. Like I said, the only real risk is some like protracted recession or something like that. For Chinese customers, you'd think they'd want Chinese cloud, including government. Yeah, but they're not growing at all. Cloud's competitive here too. Azure, GCP, and AWS are all still growing. It's funny, they don't talk about customers or GMV or anything anymore. Price war, so nobody's having revenue growth? Maybe. I gotta look at Baidu, I guess. Baidu's public too. They used to have this big other income from like Alipay probably, from something. And now they don't. So, who owns Temu again? Pinduoduo? You gotta look at all those stocks if we're gonna understand this stock. But I will say it's extraordinarily cheap. But we also have to look at, just look at the other companies in China just to see if there's something we're missing. Maybe all the Chinese stocks are cheap. If they're all cheap, you don't really do any better by owning Alibaba than in any of the other companies. Right? So if Baidu's cheap and all these other ones are cheap, then just buy a basket of them and we don't have to do any analysis. We're just making a macro bet. Well, that's one of the most like advanced and misunderstood things about stocks. Maybe I should make a video about it. It's probably going to sail over everybody's head. But like when you look at your portfolio, and if you could emulate your portfolio without using the stocks in your portfolio, you're not really investing in those stocks. You're investing in a bunch of other factors that will give you the same return. So if you own Carvana, if you own stuff like that, really high growth meme stocks that are kind of being shorted or stuff like that, like you're basically just buying a bunch of beta. Like if you own, maybe a better example, if you own Nvidia and then you own what's like a super high beta stock, Palantir, what else is super high beta? Eli Lilly maybe. Lilly's kind of a defensive company, but it's sort of high beta just because of what they do now. But they're probably not the best one to look at. So that's like one basket. And then if you own Boeing and Alibaba and all these other beat up value stocks, Intel, right? That's a totally different portfolio. And you could basically buy a value index and get the same result. Basically is like, depending on your sizing and stuff like that. Obviously, if you have 3 positions and they're 33% each, you're getting idiosyncratic risk. But if your portfolio looks all the same, yeah, it's seldom like companies with this kind of growth profile just stop. Oh, and also if you notice, there's no entrepreneurship happening in China, so that's kind of bullish for Alibaba. It's bearish for China, but it's kind of bullish for Alibaba. Did any of you see that graph? Almost no new Chinese startups in the last few years. I have to admit, Alibaba's an amazing company. I think it's got to be a great buy, but I do want to look at some other Chinese stocks before I go too ham. But yeah, what a great value. One day, it's kind of like the way most value stocks work. One day you're just going to wake up and the stock's doubled quietly, like IBM right now. People crying about IBM for years and years and years. Oh, what a dog. Oh, what a dog. The worst stock ever. And all of a sudden, it's at all-time highs, and nobody's like, wow, IBM. Wow, they did great, huh? It's like, yeah, you're sleeping on it. While all the value guys are getting roasted. You need a new tech guy. Fire your tech analyst. How could you be so stupid? Who told you to get an IBM? And you're just like, okay, I guess I should sell it. I guess I'll sell it. Same thing with Intel. How can you be an Intel? NVIDIA's the sauce. You missed NVIDIA and your guy's telling you to buy Intel? Fire that guy, man. You know what, I will. He sells all his Intel at the bottom, buys all the NVIDIA at the top. Thanks, John. Not all Chinese stocks cook the books. It'd be very weird if Alibaba was cooking the books. Intel is probably a buy right now, and it could have another bad year. So you have to be a little careful. Nobody wants their money locked up any more than it has to be. Like, I'd own a small amount of Intel just to have it. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll look at like Baidu and some of these other stocks and see if we can't get our head around. Yeah, it looks really, really cheap. Just don't know enough about the Chinese equities like scene. Baidu is on 9888. Okay, so that's good luck in Chinese, right? And then freaking Alibaba is 9988. You guys got this straight? Alibaba is 9988, and then Baidu is 9888. Okay, so Baidu also kind of performing like Alibaba a bit. Growth has slowed, to say the least. And I think most people think China's in a like weird state, like a recession or something. And Baidu does seem like a little more dynamic. Yeah, Baidu wasn't even growing in 2022. Okay, yeah, so this is the Chinese shares, 2834 divided by 8. And then we've got cash and debt. Baidu was only founded in 2000. Cash 280. Debt 74 on 48. So enterprise value. Let me do the Chinese. Let me keep it all in Chinese shares. Okay. Baidu's even cheaper than Alibaba. Baidu's like 2 times earnings. What's up with these Chinese stocks, man? Okay, so Baidu has done $8 billion in cash flow so far this year. They'll probably double that, make it 20. It's two times in earnings. Best way to learn Python? Download it, get started. Right in the command line, let's go. Or you know what? Much better actually. Best way to learn Python? Replit. Amjad is one of the best programmers. He used to be...
Today, AI is so powerful that anyone can...
Amjad used to watch our channel, this channel, when he was starting Replit. Now it's now a $1 billion company. He became very wealthy, and he loved watching my videos while he built his company. He was at Facebook, top programmer, left Facebook to start Replit, and he, very humbly, he invested in my company. I'm really proud of
write code.
Having invested.
But making apps is more than just writing code. You need to be able to set up a development environment, install dependencies, and configure databases. Once you're done with all of that, you need to figure out how to share it with the world.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, this has to be like the cheapest stock I've ever seen. I mean, Baidu is literally 2 times earnings. Now, the problem is you got that basically huge stake of 𝗓𝗍𝗓𝗓. So this company is so successful that Baidu is basically worthless. Is that the right way to look at it? Because the market cap's only $1 billion. Well, you have to count the debt, so it's enterprise value to earnings, not. So yeah, it didn't look like they were contributing much to earnings, so I don't think the 𝗓𝗍, there's only a couple, like 10-20% of revenue. I mean, when you buy Baidu, you're buying a pile of cash, which, yeah, they both look really cheap. Now I have to look at Tencent. Well, you can also do you can hedge the China risk, right? There's things you can trade. Julian, I don't have an opinion off the top of my head. I haven't looked at Evotech in a while, so I'm just gonna go look through it real quick for you. But I mostly try to follow the stocks in my Godel users, but I'll do one for you there.